Nice.
Hey everyone, Mr. Devil here, Kenny Danico, 3-time Stanley Cup champion of the New Jersey Devils, and you're listening to the Uncle Puckers New Jersey Devils podcast with Chris, Dan, Bobby, and Tony, the Uncle Puckers. Let's go Devils!
I think that'll do it.
Yeah.
We're not going to play anything else.
Just drum
That's
rolls.
pretty good. All right, we could just keep doing drum rolls. That'll be fun. What's
Did
this?
the Devils win tonight?
Drum
Drum roll.
Man, you can't. I can't be set up for that shit.
I know. The buttons.
They suck. All right.
That's good. Turns out that they win. They win tonight.
They do.
All
right,
there
good job.
we go. I gotta say, our sound effects have the biggest delay of any show. I don't know what goes on, and I'm not criticizing because
So do the performers.
I would definitely blame the person in charge of the buttons more so than the buttons themselves.
Wait, I can't believe that you can't find the right button. I think there's a delay.
Well, there is a bit of a delay, but the buttons are. I don't like the way they're laid
Chris
out.
has always
What are you
had a
doing
problem
with these
finding the
buttons?
button.
Chris, I think you're doing a good job. Give yourself a round of
Who's got the
applause. Come on.
Don't ask me to find that now. What the fuck?
Find the sheepy horn because that's what we need right now.
Nah.
We got this. Oh no, we don't. Apparently.
Oh,
Yes,
wow.
how there's no Christmas music?
What do your buttons look like? What is it? What goes on?
They're in
I don't think they're
Spanish.
physical
They're
buttons.
Spanish. Is that the problem?
Virtual buttons.
There you go.
All right, so we're the Uncle Puckers, Chris, Dan, Bob, and Tony tonight. Devils just finished off a 3-2 win over the Red Wings, a much-needed win to avoid that 4-game skid mark. All right, we'll go around the horn here. Bob,
Yeah.
what do you think about the game? What were your impressions of tonight?
I thought they played a really good game. I think when
Wrong
Timo's
answer.
doing Timo things.
Sorry, Chris.
I'm sorry, I don't do impressions. What's
Timo
your
controlled the
impression?
game today. I really enjoyed. I thought he did good. I thought
Yeah, definitely.
he looked like the Timo that we went after.
Timo money, Timo
overall-
problems.
They had a little more physical going on in the game. Let's get physical. Yeah, I just dropped that.
Little more.
I just thought it was great. They needed the win. They found a way to do it. I got a little nervous there for a while, but yeah, good on them.
Well, I texted you guys right like that I was on a bit of a delay, so
Did you like
I'll
when
let
I
you know when I'm done.
texted you a minute later?
You
Yeah.
send back an emoji
Facials.
of a crying face emoji, and I'm
Yes.
like, there's like 2.5 minutes left, and Detroit just pulls the goalie, and I'm like, did this motherfucker just tell me that we're about to blow
I
this? Is
didn't think
this
about
really
that.
what's going to
Exactly
happen?
what I intended, Chris. I was fucking with you.
Totally worked.
I had the power of the future on my side. So as
You
soon
sure
as they
did.
won that game, as soon as that game was over, because let's face it, guys, it went down to the last fucking second with that team.
Sure
or last
did.
4 seconds. Thanks, Mercer. But as soon as they won that game, I figured I gotta fuck with you and send you crying emoji,
I'm like,
letting you
there's
know.
no way. We're going to blow this. We're
Yes.
going to fucking blow
So
this.
I made your time, that last 5 minutes or whatever, worse than mine.
even
because-
more stressful than it
Yes.
original than it already was. Yes.
Yes, because mine was
Uh,
stressful and I was angry and I was happy that I could take a little bit out on you.
Well, that's what friends are for.
You know,
That's what I'm here for,
sometimes,
buddy.
sometimes you do that.
Yeah, it was. I'm like, this motherfucker. I'm like, we're seriously going to blow this thing. And then, but we didn't. So, Tone, what'd you think of the game?
I thought while I was watching this game, I was thinking to myself, the one thing that we're missing, I think, is like the character, kind of, right? Like when you see that, like we just like right now, we
Like
seem like we
Goofy
don't
or Mickey
like
Mouse?
we don't like we
Like,
don't
what
know
kind of
who
character?
yes character. No, we
Yeah.
just seem like we don't know who we are right now. And I was thinking that tonight, and it was good to see Meyer start because then all of a sudden you started seeing the team have a little bit of personality again. Because I feel like the last couple of games, it just looks, like a lost
Well, they-
team.
Like
they don't-
flat, right? Really flat.
They
Yeah,
don't
and-
have. Go ahead, Tone.
No, and just seeing even like Jesper Bratt do what he did tonight, and we
Bratt.
just saw we have guys, which is a problem that these guys have to actually worry about stepping up like this during the game. But like we actually had some guys who are getting tired of getting pushed around now, and I mean, it just seemed like the team had more identity today because I've been thinking that the last couple games. I'm just like, man, we just look like we're
A little more
lost. Like,
pride.
last
They
year-
need some pride.
yeah, even last year we looked like we were having more fun. Even you could tell with Hughes. Even last year it was more when he's on. It's like he's having a good time, and you could just tell like when he's not. When he's not on or the team's not on, it just really weighs on him. It was nice to see a little bit of personality tonight, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a clean game, that's for sure.
No.
They, that post and then the rebound went right to I don't know who it was, and I mean
over
that,
the net. Yeah,
that never happens to us. Like that gets
Dude,
buried 99% of the time, and we're
if
we're
that
going
happens
to
in a game,
overtime.
it's usually us doing that.
Yeah,
And missing
shanking the
open
shot.
nets twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I agree with you, though, Tone. Like we don't have an identity. We haven't had an identity for a lot of this season, and I don't even. I mean, I get what you're saying totally. Tonight they did play. After the first 5 minutes, they did play a lot cleaner.
Guys are blocking shots. Like you could just see we were.
Yeah,
trying.
they're doing the things you have to do to win a close game. That you have to win this game. You can't go 4 in a row on a homestand.
When they had that lead, didn't you just look at Vanacek and go, dude, I don't care if it's your fault or not. If this fucking goal goes in, you should run away from the state of New Jersey. Just run away.
Yeah.
It's not your fault. And I feel for him. Maybe it's the goal that he couldn't have stopped no matter who he was. But at this point in the season, the way the fans feel, blame's really going towards Lindy and the goaltending more than anything else. And if you're Vanacek with this 3-2 lead, you got to make sure that, there was that one shot towards the end. It was like a high shot through a screen. No, I was thinking about the other one. It was like a high shot through a screen. It caught his shoulder. He was there. He's in position. It's great. It's one of those like plays I could just see if he played a little bit deeper and it goes in. Mm-hmm. I feel for him because he's screened. He can't see the shot coming. It's one of those, screen shots tough. But if it would have went in there, it would have been like lights out for Vanacek. I felt like his fucking career with the Devils was kind of on the line in that last how many minutes it was.
Did anyone else think that we have to somehow find a way to have Michael Hutchinson play for the Devils and somehow we work Devil Inside to our shtick that we do here?
We always make these guys look good. We always make these guys look good.
There's only one reason I definitely don't want him. He catches.
I don't want him. I don't want him.
No, but I mean, of all the reasons, but the one reason that stands out to me, I don't know how you guys feel about this. I have a hard time watching goalies who catch right. Mm-hmm. It's so fucking weird for me to see that right. I mean, he made a great glove save on the Devils in the third. Who left a shot go? It was a beautiful shot on the power play, and he gloved it. And I'm like, that is the wrong hand, dude. And it's just the first thing that jumps out at me when I see that right hand catching. It annoys the fuck out of me. So it's like ugly to watch for some reason. I don't know. I think
but as soon as I'm with you on that. Like as soon as we got the go-ahead goal from Toffoli, I'm like, there's too much time left. We're done. There's no way they're not going to tie it.
Couldn't feel strong. No.
Oh God.
But he had a good game overall too. He had a really good game.
Sure.
Made some big saves. Got lucky on one or two, but that happens, right?
This was a hard-working win. You weren't, you were down most of the game or tied most of the game. We didn't have the lead until late in the third, the whole game. I thought that this was a good character kind of gut check win. It was, they could have rolled over and they didn't. And, they had a lot of things go for them. We had a lot of luck tonight, man. There were even a couple of penalties that I was like, on Detroit in the first period. I'm like, I don't know about if I would have been calling that shit. But they lost 2 forwards and then they were down. So they were running with a short bench. They missed some golden opportunities. Devils definitely have a lot more cleaning up to do, but at least they can go into the Christmas break now. And, they at least stop the bleeding for now.
I have to admit, I was waiting for a Smith penalty at the end. I have to, for some reason, that last 7 minutes, I was like, I thought he actually played a good game. He got in front of a shot, but that last 7 minutes, I was like, don't do it, man. I'm like, don't write the script for tonight's Uncle Pucker show.
How long is Colin Miller's paternity leave for here?
Yeah, let's get back already, right? I guess just give him the extra day now because now you got a few.
All right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Chris, to your point about the hard-working game, there were a couple things that really stood out to me too. One was Hall's execution on the boards late in the game to get that puck out. I thought when Luke Hughes was covering that 2-on-1 shorthanded, that was just perfect. I mean, that's not necessarily a hard-working, but it was because he had to get back and then I loved seeing Bratt let some aggression out too. So it kind of flowed throughout the whole. Those things stood out to me, particularly that Luke Hughes play. I mean, it looked. Yeah, you give him credit for that. That was great. Broke up to 2-1. But the way he did it, it was just so perfect.
And I thought Nemec played strong. He made a lot of nice plays in the defensive zone. I mean, Bratt, you never see him show that kind of fire. I mean, he did get flipped over and decked in the face.
Yeah.
The guys like looked up and he's like, "Wait, I outweigh you by 100 pounds." He just flipped him and decked him. But you know what? We need that.
It was genuine too. Definitely. He was pissed off.
Yeah, he was pissed, and I like that. I thought the team had some fire tonight, and I thought I don't know which one of you guys said the physicality was definitely there tonight. They were taking the body, and they did some good things tonight. So hopefully they can build off of it and get rolling. Because the only thing with this team that just gets me, it's like how bad they're capable of playing. Like it's not just we don't just lose like. We don't lose games like Detroit lost tonight. Just a hard-working game. You lost by a goal late in the third. You didn't capitalize on a couple of. We don't lose like that. We lose by 3, 4, or 5, and they all happen like that.
And it's like the bad in the first 15 minutes, can't you? You could tell with them in the first period when they come out the last couple weeks. Like you just kind of know what teams you're going to see that night too. I mean, sometimes when they've been losing, they just been looking like shit.
Yeah,
90% of the game.
Today was a little deceitful though, because like that first goal with Kaner getting so open with like 4 guys, like literally, right? The ball drops in the outfield and all the kids run to it. Yeah. That's what it looked like. I was like, are they going to play like this whole game? I got pretty nervous.
Well, that's the thing that I was just going to bring up. You're right about that because how is their psyche going to be? Again, they let a fucking wide open dude first couple of minutes of the game score a goal. You're right away down 1. How are they going to react? And they played good. I mean, I hope we can get this Hughes to Foley Bratt line going a little bit more, and the Heischer line definitely needs to get going more. But I really, right when they showed the lines in the pregame tonight, I'm saying to myself, man, I really like these lines. I like McLeod and Meyer and who was with the Mercer. I like that line. That is a line.
Anybody that can help keep Meyer going. Like if McLeod's the guy, then boom, then fine.
McLeod might be the guy to really work really good with Timo, and I liked it. Even our fourth line. I mean,
it's weird. I would have never guessed that. Like earlier, all the different places we tried to put Timo, I was never like he's got to get with McLeod. I don't think anybody said that.
No,
it's working out.
Yeah, and props to Lindy for that. Which we're gonna. I don't know what you guys want to start with. You want to do our predictions first, do our accountability, and we'll talk about the next week's, and then we'll jump into some other stuff we have.
Sure.
All right. So let's do some accountability. We will start with me. I am on a 1-week losing streak going into this week.
Sounds like we might be smacked if like the accountability, like there might be beatings given.
We should get a smacking sound instead of the wrong sound. Yeah.
Honestly, I am seriously thinking about we could set something up where we can
shock each other.
Yes. Literally put your hand on a fucking buzzer. Like we'll pick something up on Amazon and we all set it up. And
I'll fake
if you're serious, well, no, you won't. We'll get, there's a way to do this. I know we have the technology. Would you do that? Would you?
Well, we each get a bell, or you want something that'll shock us?
No, we're going to deliver some shocks here.
Some pain.
There's no reason. Accountability. So, like,
isn't there enough pain?
Some electric cock rings.
Like the reward is you don't get shocked, and the penalty is you get shocked.
I like it. All right.
Yeah.
Well, you go on Amazon, you find something that they sell that's good for that.
Pretty sure we can do that. Yeah. I'll send it to
some shock collars or something, and we'll put that on.
It. Shock collars, dude.
There we go.
Yeah.
And we'll
we got this.
I just wish that we can actually have the distance to be able to shock other people. Like, I wish.
No, we can. That's what I'm saying. Oh, you mean people not wearing the collar?
No, like if Tony's wearing it and we could just press the button and shock him.
That's what I'm saying. No, I think we do that. Like we all come on and we agree.
Go the button.
This is, if you think about it,
he's just falls off the fucking chair, shaking on the ground.
Well, have you guys ever wondered, like, if we all had a button for each, like if I look down and like, unlike Chris, I could actually find the button. There was one for each of you where it said Tony, Bobby, Chris. But on your computers, you have the same fucking buttons. Would we like start the show and immediately kill each other? Would we go like full thermonuclear and just fucking shot him like an animal? Like we'd be like angry chimps, just like and like that'd be the best show we ever did.
I don't think that it would. I don't think we would use it responsibly. I absolutely don't think we'll use it responsibly.
And if the one person who started trying to talk peace, he'd be like, guys, all three of us would go to that person. Fuck you! You shut up right now. And we just all look at each other like, I'll do this again.
And Whoever
I'm ready
pisses
for
their
this.
pants first loses.
We need another kind of
You guys are wearing
technology
pants?
sensor for that, but Tony's ready there. He's ready to go.
Until then, no, we have this.
Yeah, that's all right.
Do we?
And until then, we'll just go on with the. What are we
And
doing with
this?
these points? There we
Okay.
go. Okay,
All
I
right.
like that.
All right, here we go. So my first prediction was that Jack Hughes would have more points than Connor McDavid against the Oilers.
How did you do? Oh, that was a rough game.
Yeah.
Woo.
I said that Vitek Vanacek would shut out the Mighty Ducks.
For anyone.
Or anyone. And I said that Patrick Kane will have 0 points against New Jersey. We'll go to Bobby. You said that as of last week, when you did your prediction, which was last Saturday, that Andre Palat was in -2 and that he will be even better or even or better after this week. Now, I checked today before the game, and he was a -5, and I don't think he got 7
Did he
points
get-
today.
So I do the same thing. I go on right before the show. I look. I'm like, this motherfucker needs to be on for 5 even strength goals
Yes,
for me to get
exactly.
this point today. I'm like, this is never
No.
happening.
And I started wondering, like, do you also get a minus if you're in the box during a goal against? Because you should, when you think about it. Like, it's kind of like you're on the team, and I don't think you do. And I'm like, because
No,
there was
but
a
you
couple that he was
you
in the
should.
box for. Yeah.
You also said that Colin Miller would score a goal.
Didn't know he was having a kid.
Apparently, you weren't up to his wife's
Might have scored a goal.
gestation period.
Yeah,
and
I gotta
Yeah,
read
he scored a goal 9 months ago.
And your final prediction, Bobby, was
man.
that Jack Hughes, Jesper Bratt, and Tyler Toffoli after this at the end today will be even in goals. Now, 2 of them are.
God,
I think
wanted that empty
Toffoli
fucking netter.
and Bratt have
Jesus
13, and Jack has 14.
No, Jack and Toffoli have 14, and Brad has 13.
Okay, my bad. So either way, you're wrong.
Dan was
That would've been
willing
a
to give me
hat-trick
4
for
if
him
I
too,
got
right?
it right. So
Yeah,
I
That was an
getting
awesome
one.
call, and I can't believe how close you got to that.
I know,
we
right?
could if we could
Yeah, you
give
were
it like
close.
a half a point, I would probably still not give it to you, but maybe a quarter of a point.
Maybe 2 more buzzer negative, 2 more also you get for that.
Yeah, we could do that.
I like
One
the
more.
creativity.
There you go.
I was going for it.
And I'm just wishing
Man,
there's electricity just flying at each other.
Now, Tony, you said that Jack Hughes would have a hat trick. You said that Vitek Vanacek would have more wins than Akira Schmid this week. That's good for a point.
Yes, it is.
Nice.
And you
Guys,
said
that's why
that
he's a leader.
Jesper Bratt will have
A fight
5
tonight.
points over the next 4
That was
games
crazy.
or more.
This got
So,
Dan
Tony,
point.
you are now 1 point. You get 1 point for this week. There we go. Dan, you
What-
said
I don't even
that the
know.
Devils will get 5 or more points this week.
Mm-mm.
They got 3.
I was
You
feeling
said
good
that
then.
the Devils would have a shutout because that's old reliable.
I just stick with that
old
all
unreliable.
the time.
And you
Old
said that
unreliable.
Tony will
If I
get
bet
1.
opposite on that one, I would totally be leading the whole fucking year. If I
If
just
you
said the
guess-
Devils will not get a shutout, because every
Sure.
fucking week I
get
say
a
that,
point
and
every
every
week.
fucking week they cannot get a shutout. I would be winning if I bet against that one alone.
Well, you have this week to do it. But your final
Goddamn
one,
Devils.
you said that Tony will get 1 or less points this week. And that you
Yes.
are correct.
I love
So-
it. What a great bet that was. I love it.
That puts for the league, Bobby and
I
I
tied
have scored
the
in
week
2 games.
with
Dan-
Tony. Me and Tony won the week
Dan has
as
7.
co-champions.
Tag
Well,
team.
Dan and I are both tied with 7. Tony's leading with 10, and Bobby has 4.
Right, but
That is
what
where
I
we
want
are.
to say is
I
this
don't-
week,
Yes.
I am co-champions with Tony. This week.
Yeah, because you each have a
Tag team
point.
champion.
I don't even know how I got 4, so I'm kind of happy with it.
Someone
Well,
gave you
amazing.
one last week for
We're
free,
thinking-
I think, actually.
I think we did.
I think-
I was giving away points. I was like, yeah, whatever. Take a fucking point. Give a
I
point.
deserve that. I'm pretty sure. For
I
something.
tried to get you 4 points. I tried to give you a 4 point.
He was denied.
You were close. That
I
was
appreciate
that was actually really close.
Check is in the mail.
It was way more close than I thought.
All right. So now we have our predictions for this week's games, which is the Blue Jackets at home, and then we are on the road back-to-backs Friday and Saturday against the Ottawa Senators and the Boston Bruins. So we will start with Dan, Bobby, Tony, me. Dan, your first prediction against the Blue Jackets, Senators, and Bruins.
All right. So I've been thinking, what about
That the
quantum
Devils will
choice?
get a shutout?
No. I would say like in the quantum universe,
Oh shit.
the cat is both alive and dead. So what I would like to do is have all my bets be one side and the other, and then this way I get a point either way. Can we do this? Schrodinger's predictions.
No, we're not hedging our fucking
The
bets.
Devils both. Okay, then I'll break it into two fucking bets because that'll be my second one. The first one is the Devils will get a shutout. My second one is the Devils will not get a shutout. So at least I get a fucking point,
He's fucking with us.
and that's what I'm going with this week. You got 2 for 1.
I think Dan has lost the spirit of the game.
I'm saying
just trying
Dan's
to
one of
figure
Dan's
out-
predictions will come out. That's one of mine.
All right, Bobby,
There he
your
is.
first
He
prediction.
understands quantum mechanics. This
There
man.
you go.
He knows how it goes.
I'm starting to wonder how to play this game right. Do I just go for a bunch of easy points, or do I go for like the hat trick? Because it obviously isn't working. Whatever I'm doing,
Do whatever you want.
I
Just
will
get crazy.
say that I think this is a crazy hard one. That the Devils will score first in 2 of the 3 games.
My last prediction is the Devils will get the first goal in all 3 games, but you're taking 2 out of 3.
No, you're
Yeah, but
trumping.
that means you.
Oh,
won
yeah,
up
so
him,
I'm
you
trying to
get his
steal
point.
you.
You're stealing my
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
So you're saying that they will get first goal in 2.
Yep, any 2.
And I'm
Yep.
saying one of you guys are going to be right. My second.
There he goes.
No, not,
he can't
not,
be wrong.
We can both be wrong.
Tony's a fucking
Yeah.
genius.
On Bobby's
That's 2
bet, we can
fucking
both
points.
be wrong.
But
They cannot
Tony
get the
realized-
first goal.
But Tony's going to be right either way. Do you understand what's happening?
On both.
He's
sides,
On,
that's
only
2.
on yours, not on mine and Bobby's. We're saying that they're going to score first. Bobby's saying in 2 of the 3. I'm
No,
saying in all
Tony
3.
said that
So
either one
he's
of you
saying
are
that-
going to be right. One of you is
But,
going to be
but
right.
we can both be wrong.
Right.
They cannot
We
get
can
the
both
first
be wrong.
goal.
Or they can only get it once. We can
Right.
both be
Yeah,
wrong.
I guess.
Yeah, we
I
can
guess.
both be wrong. So,
All right.
why don't you go read up on your quantum mechanics book, and Tony,
Hold
you
on.
give us the
I
first
wanna
prediction.
call Dr. Plank.
The Devils will win 2 out of 3 of the next games.
I
You
gave
wanna
my
pick-
second
Do you
one.
want to pick the 2, or you just going to
Yes.
go with the 2?
I
Okay.
think-
We'll give you a hat trick for this one.
That's
Which
a good
I'm
one?
going to say that they're going to lose in Boston, unfortunately.
So you're saying that they're going to beat the Senators and the Blue
Ottawa.
Jackets
Yes.
So he's
and
calling all
lose
3
to
games.
Boston. A regulation loss, or it just doesn't matter?
Doesn't matter.
I think that should be a hat trick. Does anyone else?
I would like him to call the scores too, please.
Okay, call the
Yeah.
scores and
That
goal
could be a hat trick.
scorers.
Totally. I'm with you. Hat trick. Let's go.
All right. So my first prediction is, well, I guess I'll make it then. The Devils will get the first goal in all 3 games, and I'll go for Bobby's point steal on that. So Dan, your second prediction. Are you seriously
that?
going to go? They'll not get shut out. Is that seriously what you're
Is that
doing?
annoying? I mean,
Yes,
I'm tired
but
of
you
getting
can
burnt
do
by
whatever
this
you
prop.
want. So
I'm
stop
tired of
taking
getting-
it.
I can't. Do you understand what's going to happen? It will fucking totally like destroy me when they get that shutout and miss it. I'm not
All right,
there
so
anymore.
you pick something else. Go ahead. Your second prediction.
All right. I do believe that Timo Meyer will be the top scorer at the end of all the Devils at the end of this. stretch
Motherfuckers
game.
are stealing my second prediction. Timo will lead in points this fucking week. You suck.
Well, that's not even.
Wait a
steal.
minute, are you saying
got a
the same
chance to
thing?
go after?
no, I'm going to
you said-
change mine.
Are
I'm
you
gonna
saying the
change it.
most points this week, and Dan saying leading in points? What did you mean?
this week? This
oh,
week.
Well, yeah.
Of
He's,
this
he's,
stretch
he's
of
saying
games.
the same thing.
I think we're saying
right?
the same
Yeah.
thing. Like over these next games, who's going to be the point leader? And it's funny because I didn't even think goals or assists. Just like him, I thought points. And I think you would have to refine that to steal it. But if you want to like put an edge on that, you have position on me, and you could steal it.
Nope,
So go
nope,
for it.
nope. I'm going to go. I'll pick another one. That's fine.
Or you can
Tony-
pick the same one. We both
No. We can't do that. I'm going to go. Oh, yeah, I got a different one. That's fine. All right. Go ahead, Tony. Your second prediction, bud.
The Devils will not get a shutout in the next 3 games.
All right, he's Schrodinger.
Considering me.
Yeah, how do you say that?
I'm like
Like
Tarzan.
a fucking
dragging
German
him in.
guy's cat. I don't know.
My second prediction is that the Devils
What
will
am I, Skip?
be. Oh, yeah, you are. Go ahead, Skip. Your second
Before-
prediction.
Before Skip goes, I want to tell the rocket scientist a little something about his his little shutout picks. Because if he does go ahead and like pick this every week, even on average, that's only going to get you like 4 to 6 shutouts.
Shut
probably
fuck
by the
up,
player.
because You should have had a shutout by
So-
now.
So you're
And I
going to do
would
30
stop.
weeks to get 5 points? I think you should
Because
think
I'm
about
on
that.
a fucking. I snookered myself. I can't stop now. I
Dan's
have.
doing the
I
all
get
they
it.
needed was to have a shutout in the first third of the fucking season. That is reliable. I should have been done with this by now. Now I can't
agree.
stop. Now I can't stop.
And now you
The
figure the
moment I do
math has to work out. Okay.
Well, if I get in the other lane, it's going to go slower, and I'll kill myself.
We definitely don't want you killing yourself.
I don't understand.
We like it when four of us are here.
My only one says on the parkway, if I get in the other lane and then suddenly that moves slower, I'm going to end my life.
We get it, but the thing is, my question is, what have you seen over 31 games or 32 games that make you think that they will ever get a shutout this season?
Because who doesn't get one shutout with this lineup this year?
I'll tell
one
you who, us.
shutout. It gets more likely
confident.
statistically every game, but it never happens.
Right.
Dan,
Bobby,
I feel so confident in my pick saying they're not going to get one. That's how bad they do with the shutouts.
Bobby, your second
I know, dude.
prediction.
It feels like a safe bet. That
seems like.
All right, let's move off of the shutout.
I am going
Bobby,
to say that Johnny Gaudreau, Jesus, will score against us because that's just the type of shit that we let happen.
I can't argue with that.
Jesus is.
You're saying he will have a goal. Okay.
He will have a goal.
All right. So then that's my second prediction. I'm going to say that the Devils are good. And let me know if you guys think this is a hat trick. I think it might be. Devils will be 100% on their penalty kill in these next 3 games. They will not allow a power play goal.
Yeah, that's pretty
good.
It's
a hat trick. I mean, something's got to happen.
They've been very good on the penalty kill lately.
What's the best percentage that's going on right now? Yeah, no, I mean like at the end of a season, dude.
Oh, I mean for us, I think last year we were 4th in the league in penalty kill.
And that was at
now we're like 26th in the league.
Position. Like what percent?
I don't even know right now, but
because I'm thinking that like if you did that over 6 games, that would be really hard to do. But over 3 games, it's like kind of hard to do. So it's still, I'll give it a hat trick. But I'm just saying.
I think you got to look at the team too. We've been terrible at the penalty kill as of up until recently, the last few games.
Absolutely, the context of this.
But I'm
season,
fine if it's 1 point. You guys decide. I mean,
no, I'm giving you.
I go with 3 because if you say clean,
I think my next one is also a hat trick. Then but we'll go. So Dan, your third and final prediction.
So. You think the penalty kill will be 100%?
Yeah, I mean not really, but I'm going for 3 points.
I mean the safe bet is that it won't be
70 to 80.
You know what? I'll be a little audacious. I will say that the power play will strike 3 times.
3 power play goals over the next 3 games.
We will score 3 power play goals in the next 3 games. Which is,
I like that one.
Asking a lot of this team right now to do that. That's pretty good.
I like that bet. I hope that one comes true.
I hope so.
We didn't score tonight again. How many power plays do we have? 4? That 3 or 4. But I mean, they got to get that power play going again. It's just not clicking. So, Bobby, your third and final prediction, my friend.
Nice and simple. I think that the Bruins game goes to overtime.
I actually thought about that one too. I didn't take it though. Bruins. Are you going to pick? Off the record? Do you want to say what you think is going to happen in that?
Off the record, yeah. I think the Bruins could beat us in that because I got us winning the first 2.
And it's really hard, to win in Boston.
I would give you 4 points for that because that's hard to pick overtime in a game. I mean, I think it's harder than some of the stuff we picked already.
Well, he's just saying that. I agree. It is. It is
think it's a hat trick?
Overtime. I mean,
let's
I'm willing to give you a hat trick on Bruins game going to OT.
You're picking if you said the Devils go to overtime in this, that's definitely
handing out hat tricks like they're fucking.
I'm not going to complain.
It has to be in that game. Like you know how hard that is to nail. Like that's when is that a prop bet? That's not a low percentage.
I think it should be. I agree. I think we should make that a hat trick for you, Bobby. Yeah. Swing. Tony, your third and final prediction.
Making it happen, so I'm not worried about it.
Jack, Jesper, and Eric Holla will score goals in the same game of the next 3.
In the same game?
Same game, all 3.
That's a hat trick.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got 3 individual scorers in one particular game. Did he pick the game?
One particular game.
No,
any one of the 3. That's
any one of the 3.
Okay.
If you pick the game, that's 3 times. That's 9 points.
I don't know about that. I don't know if it triples up.
All right. My third.
Tony got excited for a minute. I saw his mustache go up.
Wait a second. I was like, what's going on here?
My third and final prediction. You guys tell me if this is going to be a hat trick. I think it is, but Simon Nemec will get the game-winning goal against the Ottawa Senators.
I think anytime you call a game-winning goal, that should be a hat trick.
All right. So those are our predictions for this coming week.
Swinging for the fences. Everybody's swinging for the fences on that one.
I'm, not in first, so I gotta. If you're not first, you're last.
How far behind are we, Chris? Me and you are tied. You said.
We're 7. Tony has 10, so we're 3 points back. Bobby has 4.
Bad.
14.
And we have
Bobby's
a long
gone.
season.
Even though it's the same
14.
distance between him and us as him as us
14,
and Tony, I think
14's not
Bobby's
bad.
got no chance at all. Bobby's out of this.
14
He's
stop.
games.
Put him in the bathroom.
I'm so excited that I don't have to guess another game this week.
Do you want to play that game?
I want to play that game.
Let's play a game. Like, we should
Shall we play a game?
Buckle up, boys and girls. It is time for the Devil You Know on the Uncle Pucker New Jersey Devil Podcast. That's right. It is time for the Devil You Know, the most interactive, fun game in hockey podcasting history, I say.
I think it is.
Yeah.
That's dope.
So one of the Uncle Puckers will read clues describing one of the us will read clues about a former New Jersey Devil, and tonight that's Bobby, Dan, myself, and Tony have to try and guess who the
Rest
devil
of us.
is that he's talking about. And past winners or past Devils were Kyle Quincy, Ryan Carter, Nick Palmieri, Bryce Salvador, Rod Pelly. Tony has 2 points in the new season. Bobby has 2 points. I have 1 point and nothing for Dan yet.
I don't.
So
you know what? How far off I am from this? I don't remember any of the players you just mentioned, including the one I must have done.
Yeah,
in
you
that.
did. You did Nick Palmieri. So
Yeah, I'm really way out of sync with this game. But
Bobby
let's try.
will read some clues about a former Devil. We can get 3 incorrect answers before we're eliminated. We can ask Bobby any question we want. He can or cannot answer it. It is completely up to him. So, Bobby, whenever you're ready, brother.
Okay. This former Devil played 18 NHL seasons and was a career plus 81.
A lot of
18
NHL
seasons.
He did it with 6 different teams.
Oh,
And if it helps, his total professional career was 21 seasons, but 18 were in the NHL.
Okay.
is his jersey in any rafters? Is he a Hall of Famer?
No.
Okay.
Great
No,
question. Okay.
Has he won a Stanley Cup?
This player has won a Stanley Cup. He has had seasons with as little as 3 and 4 goals, but also as big as 33 goals, which he did twice.
Wow.
33 twice.
Did 33 twice.
Did he win a Stanley Cup with New Jersey?
Yes. You're getting a little ahead, but yes.
Well, this just narrows it down to like 30,
Okay.
40.
On
50, 60
average,
players.
You'd say he was basically a 20 plus goals a year is what he was usually good for.
Did the Devils draft him?
The Devils did not draft him.
Okay.
What team drafted him, Bug?
I will not answer that yet.
If I guess it right, will you answer it?
Well, if
No.
you guess it right, you win.
It won't matter.
Oh,
You'll
you
win.
guessed
I
the
get-
team, not the player.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Oh,
So-
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I thought that differently too. All right, Bobby.
So this player had almost as many penalty minutes as games played. He had 1,242 penalty minutes in 1,244 games. He eclipsed the 30-goal mark with 3 of his 6 teams, but not when he was on New Jersey.
Wow. So he was in the 20s or less, I assume.
His full stat line: 417 goals, 521 assists for 938 points, and again, that's over 18 seasons.
Were the Devils in either of the last 2 teams he played on?
Were the Devils in either of the last 2 teams he played on?
Yeah, he said he played
Stefan
on 6
Richer?
teams. I want to know
So
if
I
the
was
Devils
actually
were
thinking
either
about
of
him,
the
Tony.
last 2 games. I know.
Tony
right?
has a
That's good
guess.
one.
Wait, last 2 games or last 2 seasons? What did you say?
No, it can't be Stefan Richer. No.
Is it Stefan Richer?
It is not Stefan Richer.
Okay.
Just the seasons he had with the Devils were over 30.
There
He
we
had a
go.
couple over 30.
All right. Go ahead, Bob.
All right, he appeared in the playoffs 13 times, so 13 different seasons, and he averages about 2.5 goals per year in the playoffs.
We know this guy.
Is he a centerman?
He is a centerman.
Hamels has it. I could tell.
I don't know
About
about that.
1/3 of his total points were actually on the power play. That's 323. Was definitely not a shorthanded specialist, but he did manage to get 2 shorthanded goals and 3 total shorthanded points.
Jason Arnott?
Jason Arnott.
Nice.
Ding, ding, ding.
I knew it was going to be somebody big
Nice.
like that. That's excellent. Good call.
Nice,
Yeah,
nice,
very
nice.
good. Very good.
That was a good one.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah,
Bobby
I mean, I was
chose-
just
we've been on a tear of guys who are pretty obscure lately.
Exactly.
I like that Bobby chose somebody we all know and like fondly remember. But he chose a guy that's like hard to just pull out from, these very fair but stats that don't really tell you who he is.
yeah,
Right.
I mean,
And that was good.
he
Yeah,
was
what
a
other
runner-up
clues you
to
got?
Martin Brodeur for the Calder in '94.
Right.
That was one of my later ones. And then I was getting into the fact that he's like 6'5", 220. And of course, if we didn't guess it, I was going to go into obviously
goal.
one of the biggest goals or the A-line. My next clue was just going to be, just for context, that he was drafted right around the time we were all finishing up high school. So
See,
it puts him in our
yeah.
age bracket. So
I thought
I was
him-
asking that one question about like when he was with the Devils. I was trying to like just get what third he was in, like the
Yeah.
first 2 teams, the second 2, 3. I felt like we were in the end of his career. So that's why
well,
I was
he had
asking
97 to 2002, and then
Right.
he came back in 11-12.
that. Right.
We
I
didn't get
didn't
to that.
even
Usually,
know.
you guys ask that question: did he come back? Like, what did he
I,
play
Yeah,
first
yeah.
I
twice?
didn't know.
We just
I
didn't
didn't
get to
even
it.
know
yet.
he came back.
I forgot that he
You
came
forgot,
back
right? Those are the
entirely.
dark
Yeah,
years.
Yeah,
exactly. He
Wow.
didn't make an impact. I mean, nothing
And
did then.
I was like,
I mean, 12 was.
I
actually
thought
a
it
good
might
year.
have been him at first, but the 18 seasons, I'm like, did he play that long? I was just
Surprising,
trying
right?
to I didn't think he played that long.
I mean, and he got 30 goals with the Stars, with Nashville, and with Edmonton. And he was
Right.
actually the captain of the Predators, too. I totally forgot about that. Like,
Same here.
yeah. I was surprised how much, because I was kind of holding off on doing him because he is so high profile. I was like, how am I going to give clues that don't give it away kind of right
Well,
away?
those were great clues.
And then I looked
'cause
at it,
you
I'm
could
like,
get
18
stupid,
seasons. Jeez.
but they were all like really fair, like pieces of info you put out there. I like that.
I did too. That was a good one. So I think the Devils weren't even favored today. I think they were like a half a goal underdogs. So if anybody took the Devils to win or cover, I hope you did it on the DraftKings Sportsbook app.
It's the only way to do it.
It's the only way. So go on your phone, go into your Apple Store or your Google Play Store and download the app right now.
Do
And
it.
use code THPN. New customers, not old customers, new customers can get $150 instantly in bonus bets for betting. Anybody know how much? Huh?
$1,000. $5 billion.
$5 million on
That's
Haas.
what I thought it was.
Yes.
Now I can only bet once. Whatever.
And all you got to do is use code THPN only on DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the NHL. The crown is yours.
Thank
Not
you.
mine. It's yours.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after
How many
issuance.
days is that?
I think it's around 7 days.
6.975.
999.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Yes. Okay, well, you can call
I thought we were
1-800-GAMBLER.
getting real all of a sudden.
Or it's an intervention, Dan. We got to talk about your gambling problem. I think you really need to
I thought you saw my
Go to-
broken thumbs.
www.1800gambler.net. They might be able to help you because we don't care enough to fucking help you. So, but
I'm
that's,
dialing now.
But if you're in New York, all you got to do is call 877-8-HOPE-NY or just text HOPE-NY, which, if you don't know, is 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, 21 plus. Age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario, where the Devils will be on Wednesday night or Friday night.
Oh.
Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See dkng.com/hockey for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gaming resources.
How's that all
NHL.
necessary?
What'd you say?
I mean, it's a lot of stuff. I'm so amazed.
NHL and the
Very
NHL
impressive.
Shield are registered trademarks of the National Hockey League. Copyright NHL 2023. All rights reserved. I'm guessing we only have 1 week until we get a new script from DraftKings.
Yeah, right. Seriously.
Did you guys know they're the official sports betting partner of the NHL?
I mean, who else would be?
How could you not?
So that's true.
As if I weren't paying attention.
I just got to say, I absolutely love Devil fans. I think that Devil fans are some of the best fans in all of hockey.
Yes.
And so I posted something up on X, if I can find it. There we go. Yesterday. And we got a bunch of responses, and some of them I want to talk about. And I just love it. They're smart. They're adamant about what they feel, and I think it's awesome. So I wrote out, if Fitzgerald wishes Lindy Ruff the best in all his future endeavors and fires his ass, who would Devil fans like to see as his replacement? Let us know in the comments, blah, blah, blah. So the backhanded Devil, he wrote in, he said, go with Travis Green as the interim coach. This gives you time to find a replacement that's better suited for this team's skill set. So
he wants to do an interim coach deal.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're not going to, chances are that Lindy Ruff's job is safe. Unless this, a lot worse has to happen for this to not be. I'm not saying it's safe at the end of the season, but I don't know if he'll get fired in a regular season. But
so you're just not feeling it like in the next few games.
Well, I don't think so in the next few games. I do
Even
think that
Fitzgerald, if they would have lost tonight, you think there's like zero chance he might be changed out in the next let's say next
zero
month.
Chance. No, I don't think there's zero chance now. I just don't know if I just wouldn't say it's likely. But let's say he was fired. Okay. What do you guys think about Travis Green as the interim? I mean, I don't know how he really did up in Vancouver, but I mean,
there's always a lot of sense in bringing up somebody from the bench, because you're looking at a team here that's been guided to be playing this way for a number of years now. So it's a little bit harder to take a brand new coach in and just knock all that out and start something completely different. So in the interim, like he said, it does make sense that you can go that route. I mean, it also makes sense to go ahead and just get somebody to completely flip it, and be that guy that's in your face and changes the way that you coach. But I think for this team, again, with the years that they've spent building to this design of play, that makes it harder for an outsider to come in and change it in one night.
I mean, I think that I don't know how much of a change you'd get with just it being Travis Green, being the same regime. I think it's probably, unless you can't get the guy you want right now, that is a smart move, because you're not going to pull somebody in and just to fire him at the end of the year. So keeping Travis Green in.
And that's the thing too. This
like
type of change, you want to be a subtle change. You're going to keep the majority of the systems and just get a different voice and tweak one or two things. So,
I mean, or you, like you said, you go the other way and you get somebody the other way in that changes, says, holds these guys more accountable, maybe, and
exactly.
I don't know, man. I look at this and go, okay, look, what message does it send? It sends that this coaching staff was pretty damn good, but it was Lindy.
Yeah,
that guy, and if the rest of us are doing great, and I don't know if I see that. Like, I like Travis Green, he's Devils, hero,
but I don't know.
I want to see him get a shot if the time is right. But I'm just saying, like, what kind of message to send to this team? I think you're saying, like, it was just that one guy, your head coach, and it's weird because I feel like the other lever I'd pull first is to try to get different staff under Lindy, because they made this commitment here with him, and just see that first. Or, and I don't think that's the first thing is what they should do. The other thing they should consider is going for a different head coach. Like, new boss is in town. He might be keeping the other people for now, but this is a different coaching direction. I don't know about the placeholder move for this team. I say that placeholder move makes sense if we are really kind of tanking the season, like a Nazardine kind of replacement of Hines, and I felt like that was like, I know what they're doing. Nazardine, he's getting a shot, he's getting an interview here, but he's not necessarily the guy. That's what we'd be doing with Travis Green. He'd be getting an interview out of it. And I don't know if like that's the move, like we're either going to go whole hog here or we're going to just punt. And in which case, like, is that necessarily the best?
I agree with Dan on this one. I think if you are going to make a move that drastic, it can't just be elevating Travis Green as much as, like you said, I'd like to see maybe Travis Green take the job just naturally that he's the next guy in the succession. But I think if it's as bad where you're firing your head coach, you need a new voice in there. It's got to be somebody fresh.
If you are going for the season, if what I'm saying is if we do Travis Green, it might be the best move for this franchise. I'm not even because you have to give people a chance sometimes, but you'd be giving Travis Green the chance going in your head. This is prep for next year.
Yeah,
we have already tossed away. Right. We're not making the playoff, and I don't know if we're there yet. I still hold out a lot of hope that we can make the playoffs and have a playoff team. We have too much talent to think that's out of the realm of possibility when we're not even exactly halfway in.
What do you think, Tone? If that move was made, and I know you don't want to see Lindy Ruff fired. We're not saying
I don't think.
We're just saying
I think what you guys said is. I think what you guys said is partially correct. That if by just putting Green up there, I don't think it's enough of a. I just think it's not really helping the situation. I don't think I'll be honest, I don't think they get rid of Ruff during the season unless we as long as we hang there where we're a couple points away for the whole season, I don't think Fitzgerald makes that move because I don't think that's the way he does things. I also think that one thing we have to, which I hate to say is, I don't blame Ruff in all this. First of all, we have so much youth in the back, and that's been killing us. We've just played some poor hockey. We don't have an identity. And a big thing, which goes to Fitzgerald, is we're a soft team. Yes, we're sticking up for ourselves tonight, but overall, we are a soft team, and that is and I've been saying this since last season, and I always say it, I know, but there needs to be something done because the fact that Jesper Bratt has to do that tonight, because he has to, there's no one to do it for him, is where we're at, and I think that's an issue that has hurt us all season. And I think, there's a lot of issues on this team, a lot of bad penalties, just a lot of shit. Injuries. Yep. Last year we had no injuries. This year we're getting pummeled with them.
You're not the only Devil fan that feels that way. We have a couple of posts here, and we'll get into those. But I agree. I think that before any kind of coaching move is made, like this post was just put out there for getting conversation going. I wanted to get some people's idea. I think that it would have to be super fucking bad. But Tom Fitzgerald is going to make some changes first. He's going to make some trades. He's going to do what he can do to try and help this team and see what happens. But Jack of Heart kind of feels a little bit like Tony says, a new coach won't fix anything. Sorry, it won't fix our buttersoft roster. It won't fix our undimensional play. It won't fix our lack of defensive mishaps by our forwards. It won't fix the fact we have 3 rookies on defense. It won't fix Brendan Smith, and it won't fix our shit goalies. Now, Nick Delano,
he nails it.
Nick Delano writes, it ain't the fucking coach, people. It's the damn 3 rookies on defense, which will eventually get better, but it's called growing pains, and we are asking a lot from these guys already, and the biggest issues is this trash goaltending, fucking extremely inconsistent bunch of stiffs.
I really feel like the first guy had a little bit better off with that, because there's a little bit of, like
Jack of Heart is
reduction there.
He is right. It is a buttersoft roster.
Yeah, definitely.
And Chris, Jack of Heart's
about that response.
Jack of Heart's actually messaged us, I think today, about coming out. He wanted to do something. You guys may have mentioned something last episode about fan interaction on the show. So, yeah.
Does he want to be our intern?
I think he wants to be the intern. I remember that episode.
I like that.
All right. I didn't see his DM. I'll check it out. But
I got a lot of laundry.
He's right about this being a buttersoft roster, but when he said it won't fix our undimensional play and it won't fix our lack of defensive mishaps by our forwards, I disagree with that. I do think a new coach can fix those things. It's a system issue as well, and we all know that you get that bounce, and guys play a shitload better when there's a new guy behind the bench.
He did go over everything that was wrong with his team, and most of what he said probably won't be 100% fixed by a coach. But I'm kind of like with you there. A coach can definitely shake this up and give you a chance at changing that script on at least half, if not the majority of what he's talking about. It can happen.
Now, I responded to him, and I wrote that I don't totally disagree with you. A change of leadership and the implementation of a competent system and well-defined roles can help all the issues you just mentioned. The Devs' problems are deeper than a new head coach for sure, but you got to start somewhere. So, yeah, I agree with a lot of that, but I do think that implementing a new system and giving guys clearly defined roles of exactly what it is they're supposed to do. And if you don't do that, you get limited ice time. You get this. I don't know if that's the case. It doesn't seem that way. And it doesn't seem that way just because we don't have any consistency with our lines or defensive pairings. But the biggest problem is our goaltending right now. So that was some people that put that.
See, there's a lot of people who believe that, and I honestly don't. I think it is something we really need to fix. We're never going to be happy with going into the playoffs if we were finally get to the level of competency where we actually get there. I don't think we're going to go in feeling like we have anything close to even second tier goaltending in the playoffs. That's true. I think that's how we're going to go in. But that is a totally separate argument for why this team could not be better. With the firepower this team has and the ability to do what it has to do, they should be hiding mediocre goalies.
I agree with you.
So it's not just the goaltending.
No, it's not. But I think that you have to do something about goaltending. Akira Schmid is just he's not getting it this year. And
if you really want to go deep in the playoffs, you're right. But to actually just make the playoffs, if that was your only goal right now, and I'm not saying it is, I'm saying it is for a lot of Devils fans. Like, well, holy shit, we got to make the playoffs. But if that was your main goal, honestly, if you have limited resources, you're not going to go for goaltending first. I don't think it's a smart move. I think this team, the way it is, with better coaching and maybe one tweak of personnel, should totally be able to make the playoffs with the goaltending they have. Now, would they be better in the playoffs if they got better goaltending? Absolutely. But there's no way that this is not a playoff team with the goaltending we've been getting. I
agree with you because that goaltender's got us to the playoffs last year. So, yes, you're right. You can get to the playoffs with these guys.
And this team is so good offensively to make up for a mediocre goaltender.
But
That's
our bad goaltending is affecting the forwards and the defensemen, and everybody's playing tighter. If you don't have confidence in your goalie, you tend to make more mistakes. You tend to just the old cliche, right? You're holding your stick tighter.
Those things are definitely true in the super elite games of later playoff stages. You're right, 100%. But to just make the playoffs, I don't know, man. High firepower gets you in a lot.
I know I said in the last show, no, we're not going to make the playoffs. If we do, and we get up to these 4-6 points that we need, and we stay there, then that means that these guys are playing a lot better, and then I'm okay with that. But if this doesn't change,
December was last year, Chris. Last year was awful.
I get that, but this is not just December, bro. We've been bad since the season started. So we had a bad November. We had a bad December.
What's the chances that we overpeaked? We talked about this a couple episodes.
Sure.
We're never going to have last year's November, right?
Everybody was showing up last year. Everybody was showing up and doing key roles.
But Dan's right. With the talent that is on this roster, it should be able to cover up mediocre goaltending. And I agree with that. And for the most part, last season we got above mediocre. This season we've gotten below mediocre. So I think that, if a change can be made for a goalie, I think Tom Fitzgerald does that. And I think he does it first. I just don't know if it would. Now, some other responses. Just to put a cap on this conversation with a bow on it, even because it's Christmas time and you put bows on gifts and stuff. This is my gift to you. I'm not even 100% sure Tom Fitzgerald can make a move on a goalie. Well, I saw something going out that it was John Gibson for Dawson Mercer.
I saw that.
That's the. I don't know if that's just bullshit, but
I saw that also. Yeah,
I don't know about that one. I don't know. I mean, it depends.
Is this purely a rental for the 1 year we're talking about, or like a permanent?
I think he's got 3 years left on his contract, so he would be our goalie for the next 2 or 3 years.
Oh, I thought he was final year.
No, he's not.
That
his
does make it a little
not
better.
Up.
That's something you would have to consider because he's got a few good years left in him.
Yeah, you can't give up.
I would
Mercer
say he's
for
like out of 3 tiers in the NHL, I would say he's the second tier. Getting close to the third tier. Is that an upgrade? Of course, we're in the bottom tier. At a 3 tier, 3 levels of the bottom.
You're 3 made up tiers. We're in the bottom one.
Well, I think the team's totals are in the 30s. It makes a lot of sense. So
yes.
We just have that bottom third goaltending that would maybe it'd be great to increase to the first. If we can't do that, is it worth going to the second tier? Yeah, I guess so. Does that make us make the playoffs? Not as much as a coaching move would probably do. and that's just the way.
You sound like you're out on Lindy Ruff.
Yeah.
Not honestly, I don't think so. I think that if I was Fitzgerald, my move right now,
You would be the assistants and goaltending coaches. That's what you would do. Right?
I would change out some of Lindy's staff. And that would be my first move. I'd do that. Number
the assistants and like goalie coach and stuff.
Oh yeah. Sorry. The goalie coach is not so. I mean, maybe if I had somebody cool to bring in, great. But I think that
somebody that's actually coached guys to 900 save percentage.
Yeah, and the power play is great and all, but it's like that guy's job's not looking great right now because if you look at the recent days, it hasn't been great. Yeah, I know. And so what I'm saying is like. Penalty kill has been horrible, and that's our biggest thing. And then an assistant coach who maybe did more of what Brunette would have done. I communicate on that level. I don't know what we're not getting. I would try to replicate that. And basically, those are conservative moves. So what I'm really trying to do is let this team fucking figure it out. I think it's not just a coach. And if I could make a great move on the coach, I would be tempted. And I'm going to look at that. I'm going to call Craig Berube and see what he's doing and all that stuff. But I'm not pulling that trigger until I know that it really makes sense long term for the team. Yeah. And I don't like just throwing it away at this point because the personnel it's got to do better than this, even on an individual.
And I'm sure that management feels very similar to that. They're not just going to make a move, especially at a coach exchange, unless it's absolutely necessary. Now, Bobby Lane, he just writes one letter, Q. So I wrote,
is that QAnon?
Yeah, he's. I thought it was Joel Quenneville, but now I'm thinking maybe it is QAnon.
I haven't heard about QAnon the longest time. It's like they went away. All I hear about now is Moms for Liberty. They're everywhere.
Yeah, Moms for Liberty. Didn't like the one leader of the Moms for Liberty? She was like trying to pass all this anti-gay stuff, but she's having threesomes with her husband and shit.
I know. That's so
I love the hypocrisy. But yeah, I said, would love Quenneville behind the bench. Good call. Yeah. And then New Jersey Devil SZN 2024 replies, if the Devils go near Q, I will burn every piece of Devils paraphernalia I own. I am firmly against Quenneville. No. I am firmly against selling our souls to win more hockey games. Now,
wow, he's Mephistopheles.
So he's saying maybe not a good idea.
That's ironic.
What's that?
You guys know why he's saying that, right?
Because of what happened out in Chicago.
Yeah, exactly.
Now we all know what happened in Chicago.
Bad times in El Chicago.
Yep. Yeah, and but my thing with Quenneville is we can't disregard the fact that he is an amazing head coach. And he fucked up in Chicago, and he got kicked out of the league, and he hasn't been back in, 8-10 years, something like that?
Right.
The guy wants to come back to coaching, and he had said that he wants to come back. And if a team wanted to hire him, Gary Bettman would have to, reinstate him into the NHL. Now,
cool.
Everybody deserves a second chance. I mean, I don't think this guy, if he decides that he wants to coach again, right. If he decides he wants to coach again, I mean, we should just blackball him for mistakes he made 10 years ago? Like,
but don't you think it's going to be like somebody going to make a joke about The Sopranos, and of course he's coming back to New Jersey?
And also remember, Dan, he's not found guilty. Like Quenneville is not guilty. They're not saying he's 100% guilty. They just believe he had knowledge of the situation that was going on. So he was actually never it's just he's part of that.
He's got that. What's his name, dude? Penn State dude. He's got the same defense. Like, dude, I was in the shower. I don't know. Yeah,
I heard meat slapping together. I don't have great hearing.
No, it's, I thought somebody was putting together a sandwich angrily. I
saw babies trying to crawl up from the floor drains, but I didn't think much about it.
Exactly. I thought somebody was trying to keep time on their forearm like a metronome. Like that.
That's exactly
fucking keeping time.
I didn't know anything.
Sing a song. I don't know. I was waiting for the song to break out, but it never did.
Christmas special.
Now,
exactly.
Our New Jersey Devil Quenneville hater did write in what I thought was a very good response as well. He wrote, Boudreaux on an interim basis. He's always good for a short-term bump, or Berube, and let Dawes be his Jordan Binnington. What do you guys think of that one?
All right, crazy.
2019.
Yeah.
St. Louis is, I think, last place in their division. They fire the head coach. Craig Berube comes in. They call up this nobody AHL rookie who comes in, takes them. They almost won their division. They came all the way back. They were like 1 point behind whoever won their division, and then they go on this run and win a cup. So with the Jordan Binnington can Nico Dawes be our Jordan Binnington? How cool would that be?
Yeah,
I doubt
great
he has
story.
the attitude to be a bit.
For every Bennington, there's those 97,000 stories who failed at the same.
Oh, absolutely.
The same.
But absolutely.
Strategy.
But I love the sentiment. I think it's
great.
I love our fans and the people that write in and stuff, because they're smart and they know what they're looking at, and you could tell that a lot of those were written after the Edmonton game, and people are legitimately pissed, and they feel like, and I don't put a lot of blame on Nemec, Hughes, and Ball. I don't. I do. But I agree when they're not the worst defensemen, but Tony, Siegenthaler and Marino Smith are making more mistakes than those
senior guys.
So how can you put the blame on the three rookies when the three veterans are playing worse?
That's why I don't like that reason. Like, they're just young guys. They're going to be.
Oh man, it's been brutal though. I have to be honest. It's just been like, even like, I love Luke Hughes. We all say that. Every post I see from everybody is, I love Luke Hughes, but like, there has been a lot of mistakes, and you're right though, Chris.
But
Siegenthaler and Marino, I expected like a way different year than after last year. I was so excited.
Smith is a veteran, our most veteran defenseman.
Yeah.
Smith.
It's very fitting.
He's killed this team.
I have two graphics we can share now to support these.
Go
So again, you're talking about the Devils fans and how knowledgeable they are, and the big argument, right? Is it defense? Is it goaltending? Then there's coaching and the all around. But those are two of the big ones. Something came across X the other day. CJ Turtovo at CJ Devil. He said the goals allowed per hour for Devils pairs last year versus their closest equivalent this year. All right, so I'll give you the example. So Hamilton, Siegenthaler last year, 2.24. This year, 2.61.
2.24 goals
allowed
per hour.
That's the
per
way
game.
it's
Weird
written.
metric.
Per hour of their ice time.
Right.
But it's just off an hour of their ice time, right?
I like it per minute, like my
so it's
RDM.
probably like a 3 to 4 game, 3.5 games.
It's an advanced metric, but again, this supports like the depth these people go to pull out this information that we don't talk about.
On this episode.
So
the goals went up 0.37.
A train leaves from Boston at 4:30, right?
It hits quantum physics. Shut up.
From Chicago. They both have to go to New York and be there by 6:30.
My phone
Both trains
screensaver
are
comes
running
on every 30
time.
seconds. Can we move this?
What time does a train leave from St. Louis?
Listen,
4?
Marino and Graves last year had a 1.92 goals against. The current pairing of Marino and Ball is 3.56. So it's up a goal and a half or more.
Right.
And
That's
then
significant.
Smith, Severson, now Smith Hughes went from 1.69 to 3.52. So that supports the defensive lapses there. And then NHL Tonight put on, and this goes right to our heart here, goals saved above expected in the last 3 seasons for the Devils. So we all know how brutal 21-22 was. We were 32nd in the league in goals saved above expected. You know, the ones that you maybe shouldn't make, but you do. Last year, we were 8th in the league. We saw that, right? They came up with a couple big saves when they needed. This year, they're back to 29. How many times on the show did we say they look very similar to 21-22?
Yeah.
It's right there in front. It's exactly what they're doing. They're not getting those extra
Numbers
saves.
are not good.
That one or two
Yeah,
saves.
it's just it's the goaltending has not been there. We all know that. And as far as I just think to put the blame, we said in the summertime we are going to have to lean on, and we said Hamilton, Siegenthaler, and Marino. Now, okay, we can't fix the Hamilton issue. He's hurt. He's gone. So you got to move on.
I mean,
so now it's down to Siegenthaler.
But even before
Marino.
that, even before he was hurt, he was not
Right.
up to snuff.
Yes,
Let
it was
the
not
record
good.
show.
It was not
But I
good.
get your
And
point,
we
yeah.
said we would have to live with the mistakes. And we, at that time, there was no Nemec. So there was only Hughes
Right.
and Ball. And we have to live with the mistakes. Whatever defensive liabilities or defensive ineffectiveness that we have to make it up in goal scoring. We have to outscore all of our mistakes. And that's
I
how
never
we
thought that
look
was
at
a
it.
great strategy, but I understood
And-
the point.
Right, but our goals have not been there, especially lately. Like the spurts are there, but we don't have, like last year we were consistently scoring 4 or 5 goals. That in itself takes so much pressure off your goaltending and defense. We were a possession team last year. We cannot seem to even get out of our fucking zone this year.
The Devils were having fun last year when they were playing. You could see it. This year,
Yeah,
it's more like
but-
trying to keep up.
the kids are not the problem. We knew this. We knew we were going to have these issues. The problem is our veterans.
You would think like with those predictions we made, wow, you guys, you didn't properly estimate how bad the young defense could hurt you because look how low you are. No. That is not what happened, dude. The young defense about met our expectations.
Exactly.
The problem is what we counted on as in the bag, reasonably to be expected, was that these, more senior players, including mostly our defensemen, but also some of our other players, a lot of our forwards would be close to where they were last year at all, because they're more senior. Right. They were with this team for a while. Such a high level from Marino last year. Siegenthaler, way more competent. So Marino was rock solid. Siegenthaler wasn't that far behind him. And now it's like the two of them, I don't get it. Where are you guys? And of course you take the Hamilton on top of that and we're going to be in a bad spot. And then it's not just the defensemen. I mean, look at our forwards. They're not coming through.
Now you take that and you talk about the first goal of the game that Kane got. And you realize that for 4 players to chase that puck, that puts at least 2 players out of their position, at least 2 to 3, depending on I don't know. Yeah. Right. So, and how many of those were? I don't remember who was on the who was out there. I know some of the young defensemen were, but it's just a case in point, right? Like the other people on this team need to also know. No, 4 of us don't chase this puck now. And we've got to settle back in.
If everyone else on this team, minus those 3 rookie defensemen, right? If everyone else on this team is playing to their ability, we don't notice any of those mistakes that those 3 guys are making because people are there to back them out. People are there to bail them out. We haven't had that. Guys are being left alone on islands. I mean, how many goals have we seen? Draisaitl the other night, McDavid the other night, all of the goals actually from Edmonton, the McLeod 2 goals, and the one tonight from Kane. Like, we grew up watching these defensive New Jersey Devils from 94 up, right? They would never fucking let you be wide open like that. I understand how much the game's changed and everything like that, but that would never happen. And if somebody ever did that,
the team knows how to clamp down when they need to.
And we did that tonight. We had the 1-goal lead, and we didn't get the empty netter, but we were able to keep it out of our net. And I thought
positioning,
they did a much better job.
Chances. Yeah.
And the thing that I liked about tonight's game was they looked so bad early on, and we've seen this, and this is where it fucking snowballs. Like as soon as Kane scored, I'm like, all right, it's going to be one of those nights. They're going to get 2 or 3 more, and they calmed down, they settled the play. I mean, it's Detroit, I get it, which is I think Detroit and us are very evenly matched. It's not like Edmonton where they just constantly, rushing down your fucking throat and you can't do anything about it. They completely just dominate.
I don't think Detroit we counted on our physicality tonight. I think that took them by surprise. If you take one key factor of how they played differently and you had to pick just one, I'd go with that physicality because it had the effect of throwing Detroit off. I think they expected another soft Devils outing.
And that's what physicality will do. It will open up the ice for
especially
you.
Especially if the other team's not prepared for it. We might be capitalizing the fact that people really are thinking of us as a soft team right now. But if we start playing a little tougher and they are ready for it, it might have even
Does anyone know what the hits were tonight?
I don't know. Real quick. That's a stat that's kind of tricky, dude, because it sometimes tells you something. But let's tell you the truth. I don't care if they were under the hits. We've out-hit teams I thought we played soft with. That happened a lot.
Chris is looking for that.
The hit stat alone is not super important to
Who
me.
won the Rangers?
What was that, Tom?
Yeah, the Rangers won in OT.
I don't fucking care.
The Islanders beat the Hurricanes.
Good for them.
The Rangers won in overtime?
Yeah, Rangers won in overtime.
They were playing Buffalo, right?
Yes.
What were some other scores?
You got the Penguins lost to the Senators 5-4. Lightning 2-1 over the Capitals. The Wild beat the Bruins 3-2. Let me see if I'm missing.
So actually, a lot of stuff we needed to happen tonight kind of happened, right?
Blues beat the Blackhawks 7-5, and then Kraken beat the Ducks 3-2, and then one more. Who's playing right now? Avalanche and Coyotes.
Right now we're 3 points behind the last playoff spot, which is held by Tampa Bay. They have 39 points. We have 36. They've played 35 games. We've played 32. Now we'd have to leapfrog Carolina. They've also played 2 more games and us and have 2 more points. And then once you get past that, you're talking about being 4 points away from the Flyers for third in the division and 5 away from the Islanders for second in our division. With games in hand on both of them. I mean, it's not – I know it's been pretty bad, but it's not doom and gloom.
It's in the bag.
We just need a decent streak.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what they need. Let's hope that this 3-day
and a soundbite for that,
and nothing will happen this week because there's a roster freeze.
Yeah, roster freeze till the 28th. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, you get the rest. You get one more game at home. This is a good hard fought win tonight. Build off of it. They have to. You can't keep doing this, 2 games you look like world beaters, and then you go 2 or 3 where you look like you can't stop a peewee squad from scoring on you. There's that, and there's a lot that has to. This team is again.
You guys know what our current win streak this season? I believe is 3, right?
Yes, twice. We did that twice.
Just twice. That's it.
Just twice.
And we're not, on that. We're definitely on that bubble pace of like, what are you doing? You're barely flirting with being a above 500 team. Yeah. And it's crazy because they are so super talented. So if they get it together, we've got a lot. Like I see a huge possibility for them to launch and take off and be a real serious playoff contending team. I really still believe that. It's almost crazy to say that right now because of the way they've been playing.
They have to make a move.
Tell you that if something needs to trigger that, and if it does, the pieces are mostly there. I mean, I think
the pieces are mostly there. Yeah. I also still have all the faith in the world in Tom Fitzgerald, so I know that he is going to do something. We all know that. It's just, and I know it'll be something that's going to help this team tremendously. But I am probably the most pessimistic person on this show about this team, and I can completely I look at the standings too, and I'm like, if they get their shit together, they can still win this fucking division. I don't even care how many points ahead the Rangers are. They can do that. They're capable. But like I said the last show, show me 5 games straight.
11 points.
Go win 5 straight. And then we'll talk about this team making the playoffs. One good game, again, I'm happy they won. And I'm happy the way they won by 1 goal.
I would say at this point,
tough.
At this point last year, that's probably the lead we had on the Rangers, somewhere around there. And look how well they charged just by being consistent the rest of the year. Because their first 30 games were shitty too.
Yeah,
it was the last 50 that they just kind of strung it together. And look what they did. I mean, they're pretty far out of reach. I don't really care, but you're right. It's within the realm of possibility. But unfortunately, it's still also within the realm of possibility that next week we're talking about them losing another 2 out of 3.
Yeah, you're right.
Until they show us the consistency.
Got to do it night in and night out, man. And that's it. So, before we break part,
that's why they play the games.
It's true. Oh, yeah. Is why. So,
but I mean, maybe can there be a more consequential 3 weeks of the season?
No, and
weeks? I think because you'll know one way or the other. I mean,
I think 3 at the end of the 3 weeks. So, Bobby, where would 3 weeks? I know you're looking at the schedule.
Yeah,
put
I
us
just pulled it up.
What would be the last game at the end of 3 weeks? Because I think we should make that as a marker. Because
December 30th is the end of week 1, and then we go to January, December 6th. So that would be January 13th. Would be the end of 3 weeks from now.
What's our the last game before January 13th?
So on the 11th we play Tampa, and on the 13th we play Florida.
Okay, so at the end of the night, Thursday the 13th, after the Panther
Saturday.
game.
Yeah,
Saturday
13th. Yep.
I don't know why the fuck I said Thursday. Saturday. You didn't even say a day.
I didn't. You just made it up in your mind.
You're being all Rain Man.
So trying to do all Rain Man shit, and you failed.
Yeah.
I did. I wasn't even thinking about that. Saturday.
That's a new job, jackass.
532 toothpicks.
Are you done?
No. I got Wapner at 5. Wapner
at 5. Did you fucking fart, Ray? Did you fucking fart? Waterburn, baby. Waterburn, baby.
That's the best. In the end, he goes, full. Just Waterburn, baby. He's not even using normal syntax anymore. He gets, it was great. Waterburn, baby.
So on that day, after the Panther game, we're going to know where this team is, if they're going to make the playoffs or not. Because I agree with Dan. They don't do it in the next 3 weeks, it ain't happening.
And again, I love to look forward in the schedule because you're right. At that point, afterwards, it's just Boston and Dallas and Vegas and the Hurricanes and Tampa to look forward to in the next couple weeks after that.
Yeah.
Like,
And if you're
We have
if
the
you're
hardest
if you,
schedule left in NHL.
that's what they
if
said.
you- if you pick it up now and you start playing some good, confident hockey, maybe there's a change made by then, the next 3 weeks, then they can go and compete with every one of those fucking teams you just mentioned. So before we wrap
the
it up,
Devils, I'm more comfortable sometimes against the better teams.
yeah, they show
You
up.
know?
They show up.
Separate.
But it doesn't matter. They have a bad team coming into the barn on Wednesday night, and they got to win. So before we wrap it up, anything else you guys want to mention? Everybody all good for Christmas? Everybody's all done shopping, ready to just get this shit over with?
I'm very full of
Christmas.
Christmas.
I mean,
I did notice
didn't
today.
When is Christmas, guys? I haven't been paying attention to anything.
January 14th.
Oh,
It's a
I have
Thursday.
plenty of time. I feel like it's still December. I'm okay.
Yeah.
Thank God.
You're good.
Thank God
You're
I have
fine.
time because I didn't look for anything for anybody, and that's cool.
You didn't get me my Snuggie?
It's all those errands he's been running. He's
Oh,
been
yeah.
bullshitting us, showing up
Yeah.
late for fun.
Oh.
No, but I did get you a baby kangaroo. I was hoping you had somewhere to put it and just figure it out.
All right. For wherever you guys are listening to us, thank you so much for all the feedback. We really
Sorry for
appreciate
what we
it.
gave you.
And
it
yeah,
was crazy.
we apologize
smacking.
in advance for this and everything happening. The
That happens, yeah.
meat slaps, telling shit happens.
Meat slapping.
So
Meat slapping Christmas special.
Paterno.
Pucker
I like it.
Christmas special.
It's the very Paterno special.
it's a very Paterno Christmas.
No, yeah. Definitely.
Oh man,
Definitely.
starring
Turns dark
Jerry
really
Sandusky. All right, so we'll wrap it up tonight. Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy holidays, all that other bullshit. And thank you so much for checking us out. Wherever you're listening to us, a like, 5-star review, positive comment goes a long way. Help us promote the podcast. For Tony, Bob, Dan, I'm Chris. We're the Uncle Puckers coming off a big Devil win, ending the 3-game skid. We'll see you when we see you.
Focus out.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Multiple.
If I had that button, it would
There's a
start
bit of
playing
delay.
in about 3 minutes
There's a
from
bit
now.
of delay.
Jesus,
I like how it's not loud at all.
What?
Is it loud?
Huh?
It's over, Johnny.
It's over.
It's over.
All right, we did it, Johnny.
Production value rocks.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's really good. We should have gone over and we still
Kind of our
can.
thing.
We got to do show resolutions, not just Devil's resolution.